anything. Good, because we were just jabbing on. Anyway, we're going to work on shoulder mobility today and strength a little bit. So starting in an easy seated position, the spine is tall and long and at ease. Just close your eyes. Let the backs of your hands rest on your knees. Take a deep centering breath. In through your nose to the very bottom of your lungs. Bring your awareness to the feeling of that breath as it enters. And as it exits, see if you can hold that tall and lengthened spine with ease. So on your next exhale, gently let your chin drop down towards your chest. Just feeling that stretch up the back of your neck. Breathing into any areas that feel tight or restricted, expanding those areas with your breath. With your next exhale, gently bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Just feeling that stretch down the side of your neck from your ear to your shoulder. If you'd like, you can gently push that left elbow down towards the floor. Just anchor it, giving a little depth to the stretch that you're already doing. With your next exhale, your chin is up towards the sky, tilting your head back. No pinching in the neck. Breathe. Your next exhale, let your left ear come to your left shoulder, gently pushing your right elbow down towards the floor to anchor the stretch between that shoulder and that ear. And breathe. And then your next exhale, your chin drops back down to your chest. So as you inhale, bring your head up to a neutral position. Take your arms out to the sides, the palms facing up, reaching your palms, the heels of your hands in opposite directions, lengthening your spine with an inhale. As you exhale, just bring your right arm across the front of you, just holding on to the elbow with your hand. Just a gentle stretch of the lateral deltoid. If you'd like, if it bothers your shoulder to have your arm out straight, you can bend the elbow. Whatever feels good for your shoulder, no pinching or pain. Close your eyes for a moment and breathe deeply into any area that feels tight or restricted, expanding that area with your breath. And as you exhale, see if you can find ease in the pose. And breathe. Slowly releasing both arms out to the side, inhaling, reaching in opposite directions with the heels of your hands. Exhaling, taking your left arm into your right hand, just gently drawing it across the front of your body. Again, if it feels like pinching or pain, just bend your elbow. Drop that left shoulder down and away from your ear. So if you have it bunched up into your ear, just pull it down gently and breathe. Breathe into the areas of tightness. Breathe into the areas of restriction. Take a deep inhale. With an exhale, just separate your arms. So we're going to curl your fingers under with your thumbs pointed forward and just begin to make some large circles with your arms. So the idea here is to pinch your shoulder blades together in the back. Try to hold the shoulder blades gently pinched together as you move the arms. Most of our problems with our shoulders, they're getting stiff and their immobility is because we don't really use our arms in all the directions that are available to them during the day. We keyboard, we mouse, we maybe reach for a cup of coffee, but we never take our arms out to the sides. We never circumduct them, making these small circles. So we're going to stop the circles. We're going to bring your arms back to the side and then turn your hands up so your thumbs are pointing behind you and reverse the direction of your circles. So if it feels like pain in your shoulders, just drop your arms down. If it feels like you want to go a little bit deeper, make your circles larger. Connect them to your breath, inhaling as you go up, exhaling as you go back. One more large circle. And then bring your hands out to the sides. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, bring your arms up and together, palms pressing into each other. Push into your palms as hard as you comfortably can and bring them down to the front of your face and the front of your chest into a prayer position. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, push into your palms as hard as you comfortably can and take your arms up to the ceiling, across your face and overhead, just pressing in, activating those muscles. Once your hands are above your head, turn your hands inside out so the backs of your hands come together. Press into the backs of your hands and exhale, bringing them down in front of your face. So a small stretch in your wrist. You're not going to be able to go deeper than your face. If you can, then I'm a little scared for you. Press into the back of your hands as you take them back up and overhead. Pressing into your hands. Feel those muscles as they activate and then separate them. Palms reaching apart. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, bring your left elbow underneath of your right. Try to bring the palms together. So the idea here is to have no pinching or pain in your shoulders. You want your shoulder blades down and away from your ears. If it feels like discomfort for you, just separate your hands, maybe the backs of your hands touching, or even bring the left hand down to the outside of your right elbow. If you have your wrists intertwined, see if you can get your thumbs to rest in the center of your forehead. As you inhale, take a cow pose, your belly dropping out into your lap, you're arching back. As you exhale, round forward into a cat pose, separate your shoulder blades, push your belly to the spine. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Be gentle, no pinching or pain in the shoulders. One more time, inhale to cow. Really allow your belly to spill out into your lap. Exhale as you round forward. And then bring yourself up to a straight spine, just keeping your arms just as they are. With an inhale, slowly let your arms rise up towards the sky. As you exhale, let them come down. Inhale up to the sky. Exhale down. One more time. Bring the breath to the bottom of your lungs. Your belly expands as your arms float up. Exhale them down. Being cautious to have no pinching or pain. As you inhale, we'll begin to circle your arms. Take an inhale up one side of the circle. Thank you. This yoga is brought to you by Galaxy 8 Plus. Inhale it up to the ceiling. Exhale it down to the other side. Gentle with your shoulders. Make the circle as small or large as you need. One more. Exhaling it down. And then we're just going to reverse directions on the circle. Inhale up one side of the circle. Exhale down the opposite side of the circle. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more full circle, following your breath, making that circle as large or as small as you need to keep comfort in the shoulders. Once your arms are back down in front of you, separate your arms, punching them out into the opposite directions. Fingertips pulled up, heels of your hands reaching in opposite directions. Then we're going to bring your right elbow underneath your left, and we'll do the exact same thing on the opposite side. So first, start by checking the height of your shoulders, that you haven't pulled them up towards your ears. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, round forward, belly to the spine, shoulder blades separate, the cat pose. Inhale, arch back, the belly spills out into your lap. You fill your lungs with air. Exhale, round forward. Inhale, take it back. One more full cycle. Exhale, rounding forward. Inhale, arching back. And then bring your spine to a straight position. Find ease in the shoulders. As you inhale, your arms float up towards the ceiling. Your belly fills with air, drawing the rib cage down. As you exhale, your arms float down, push the air out of your belly. Inhale, follow your breath. Link it to your motion. Exhale down. One more time. See if you can really bring all of your focus and attention to the breath, filling the belly as the arms rise up. Exhaling as they come down. Checking back in with your shoulders here. Make sure they're not pinched up towards your ears. Beginning to circle in one direction. Inhale as the arms go up. Exhale as they come back down. Follow your own breath, inhaling up one side, exhaling down the other. Making this last circle as large or as small as you need to remain comfortable and safe in your shoulders. And once you're finished with that circle, once your arms are back down in front, just reverse your direction. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Bring mindfulness to your motion. Follow your own breath. One more time, taking a full circle and exhaling it down. Once you've come back to where the arms are down in front, take a deep inhale. As you exhale, push those arms away from you. Once again, opening them, reaching in opposite directions with the palms of your hand, really stretching. Take a deep inhale. With an exhale, bring your hands behind you. Interlace your fingers and reach your knuckles to the floor. Inhale. Lift your chin and your chest up towards the sky. As you exhale, fold forward, bringing your forehead towards the ground. Once you're here, you have an option. You can either stay just as you are, or with an exhale, lift your arms from their waist up towards the sky. Breathe. And then slowly lower your arms back down to your hips, slowly rounding up one vertebrae at a time. Once your spine is straight, take both hands over to your left hip. So if you don't make it all the way to that hip, that's perfectly fine. This is a really deep stretch of that right shoulder. Take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, turn towards your left. Turn your head if that doesn't bother your neck. Turn your spine and just breathe. So a big part of shoulder mobility is thoracic mobility. Those vertebrae between your shoulder blades, if they don't move, your shoulders will not move properly. Inhale deeply. As you exhale, turn all the way to your right. So in order to get the shoulders to move correctly, we also have to add some motion of the thoracic spine. Breathing deeply in, exhaling slowly. And then bring it back to the front. Drop your knuckles to the floor, lift your chin and your chest up, arching back. Exhale, folding forward. Stay here, or with an exhale, lift your arms towards the sky. Slowly lowering your arms back down to your hips, gently lifting one vertebrae at a time. When your spine is straight, then lift your chin, to a neutral position. Then we're going to take both arms over to your right hip. Again, if it feels like pinching or pain, just stop in the middle of the back. Stop wherever it feels comfortable for you. Lengthen your spine. As you exhale, let that left shoulder just relax a little bit. Take a deep inhale here, and as you exhale, turn towards your right. No struggles and no strains. Breathing deeply into your belly. Deep inhale here, and as you exhale, turn to your left. Breathe. Deep inhale here. As you exhale, come back to face the front. Drop your knuckles to the floor one more time. Inhale, arch back. Exhale, fold forward. Stay here, or with an exhale, lift your arms from your waist up towards the sky. Lowering your hands back down to your hips, slowly rounding up one vertebrae at a time. Your spine is straight. Just release your fingers from the grip and just shake your arms out. You may want to use your strap for this next one. Some of you might not need it, but we're going to take the strap into your right hand. We're going to take both arms up and over your head. So the arms are straight, the shoulder blades are down. Take that left arm and reach behind you to grab onto your strap. So then you have a couple of options. You can take that right arm and just drape it over your shoulder, just stretching that left arm, or you can use that strap to walk your hands closer to each other. Remember, no pinching or pain. If you feel pinching or pain, then you need to back off out of the stretch. Find the beginning, the edge of your stretch, and then breathe into the areas that feel tight or restricted. Expanding that breath. Exhaling and releasing tension. Your elbows should be pointed straight up and straight down. If your top elbow is pointed forward, then you need to back off a little bit to the place where you can get that elbow straight up and down. You can stay right here, or with an exhale, you can fold forward, bringing your forehead towards the floor. No struggles, no strains. Breathe. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. If you fold it forward, slowly unfold. Release your arms slowly. And once you have them released, just shake them out a little bit and take that strap into your left hand. So both arms float up towards the sky. Pull the shoulder blades down to set them, and then take your right arm back and behind you, reaching for that strap. Either just drape that strap right over your left shoulder and enjoy just the stretch on the right arm by itself, or use that strap to walk your fingers closer together. If you can reach your fingertips so that you can pull on the fingers, that's perfectly fine, but make sure that your elbows are pointed straight up towards the sky and straight down towards the floor. Close your eyes for a moment and make sure that you feel at ease in this pose. If you have pinching or pain now, it will lead to pinching or pain later. Breathe. Take a deep inhale. You're exhaling and releasing any more tension, or folding forward, bringing your forehead towards the floor. Always find an expression of the pose that you can hold with ease, where you can bring all of your focus to the depth of your breath or the feeling of the stretch. One more deep inhale. One more slow exhale. And then if you're folded forward, just unfold. And then release the arms down, shaking them out. Just relaxing and releasing those shoulders. We're going to take yourself to a long sit. So bringing your legs out in front of you, your hands right behind you. With the fingertips pointed away, what I want you to do is just try to walk your hands back to wherever you begin to feel a stretch across the front of your shoulder. So make sure that you don't have pinching or pain. Make sure that you don't have your shoulders pulled up. You can also take this down to your elbows if you feel that's more comfortable. If it's not good for your elbow or your wrist, come down onto your elbows and then walk your elbows back. You're still getting that shoulder stretch, that anterior capsule. Your shoulder has a fibrous capsule that surrounds it. It keeps this bone under that shelf. Sometimes it gets tight, especially if we haven't pulled those arms into positions that serve to stretch. So you get to stay right here where you are, or if you'd like, take it into a bit of a strength move by lifting your hips from the ground. No struggles and no strains. If you're up onto those arms straight, pull your shoulder blades together. Pull your shoulder blades down towards your hips. And then slowly lower your hips back down. And breathe. We're going to take your arms forward. We're going to slowly lower yourself down to a lying flat position. You can lower by just using your abdominals, or you can take yourself down using your arms to assist it. And breathe. Just take a small shavasana here, just allowing your body to relax for a moment. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, slide both arms down the mat as if you were trying to touch the bottom of your mat, but without lifting your arms from the floor. You're just doing a gentle stretch, compression of that joint. Now take a deep inhale. Let your arms rise up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, let your arms fall to the floor behind you. So if your arms straight back is uncomfortable for you, just bend your elbows and slide your elbows down the floor towards your shoulder height, like a football field goal would look. Take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, walk your left leg out to the left as far as it comfortably can go. And then walk your right leg out to meet it. Your next exhale, your left arm comes out to the left as far as it comfortably can, and your right arm comes to meet it. You can stay right here or lift your right ankle, let it come to rest on top of your left. You can stay right here or take your left hand and grab onto your right wrist and just pull it a little bit further. But try to keep your back flat to the ground. If you've started to roll up off your back, just take your pose back a little bit. So we're stretching what's called your serratus anterior and your latissimus dorsi. That will be on the test at the end of the class. Everyone must take the test except the birthday girl, of course. So breathe into that rib cage on that right-hand side. Feel the expansion of the ribs, and as you exhale, try to melt. So your shoulders locked down by 4 or 5 different muscles, and those latissimus dorsi and the serratus are 2 that never get stretched. So this is a good way to give yourself actually more range of motion. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. And then release your right hand back to the mat behind you. Release your left hand back to meet it. Release your right hand back to the center of your mat. Release the left leg back to meet it. As you inhale, reach back with your fingertips, reach forward with the heels, and just have a nice stretch. As you exhale, take your right foot out to the right as far as it comfortably will go. Bring your left foot over to meet it. Your right arm out to the right as far as it comfortably go, and your left arm out to meet it. Stay right there or lift your left ankle, let it come to rest on top of your right ankle. Stay right there or take your left wrist in your right hand and gently pull it a little bit further. Make sure that your back has stayed flat to the ground, and then breathe deeply into the rib cage. As you exhale, melt. No struggles, no strains. Breathe. One more deep breath, really paying attention to the sensation as the air enters through your nose down to the very bottom of your lungs. And as it exits, warmed from your body, leaving with the tension, leaving with any tightness, releasing your left leg back to the middle of the mat and your right leg back to meet it. Releasing your left hand back to the middle of the mat and your right arm back to meet it. As you inhale, reach back with your fingertips. As you exhale, stretch. And then slowly allow your arms to float back down by your sides. We're going to bend your knees. What we're going to do is roll all the way over so that you end up onto your stomach. We're going to bring your arms out to the sides like the letter T. So your forehead can rest flat down on the floor. Your palms are facing down. If it bothers your neck, just turn your head in one direction or the other. That's perfectly fine. But if you can do it with a forehead down, it's even better. We're doing a very light stretch here of the anterior capsule, the front of your shoulder. We're going to take that a little deeper in a minute if it's good for you. If it's not, just stay right where you are. What you want to do is start to bend your right elbow, bring your right hand in towards your armpit so that your thumb is pointing right into your armpit and your right elbow is pointing up towards the sky. And then push down into that right hand so that you can roll over, bringing your chest to face your right arm. So this is a deeper stretch of the front of your shoulder. Remember, no pinching, no pain, no struggle, and no strain. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. Slowly release your chest back down to the front. Straighten your right arm out Again, the letter T made with your arms, your forehead straight down if that's comfortable for your neck. And then we're going to take it to the other side. So bend your left elbow, sliding your left hand so that the thumb of your left hand is pointed towards your armpit. Your elbow on the left is pointing up to the sky. Push down into that left arm. Begin to roll so that your chest is facing the wall on your left. Feel that gentle stretch in the front. No struggles and no strains. Breathe. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. And then slowly release, coming back down to the front. We're going to slide both arms in. We're going to bring your elbows right underneath of your shoulders, coming up into a Sphinx pose. So this is actually a way of stretching your anterior capsule at the top, the superior capsule, to the very top of your shoulders. We advise people in physical therapy to just read a book or watch television just hanging on their shoulders. So take a deep breath, and as you exhale, stop trying to push up and just let your chest sink down. So it's like you're hanging from your shoulders. How did you all get turned around in the wrong direction? Just teasing. It's always the right direction. Push down into your elbows, lifting your chest, and then let it sink again. So it's just like you're hanging on those shoulders. Lift up your chest up from the floor. We're going to stay right there. We're going to curl your toes under and try to lift your hips from the floor in a plank. So if the plank is too much for you up on straight legs, just leave your knees down, but lift your hips from the floor. Pull your belly to your spine, push down into those elbows, and then lower your knees to the floor, lower your hips to the floor, back to Sphinx pose. We're going to do that 2 more times, following the plank that's good for you. Take a deep inhale. Either curl your toes under and lift the entire legs and your hips from the floor, or leave your knees down and lift just the hips. Feel the strength of the pose. Pull your shoulder blades down your back towards your hips and gently together, your belly to your spine, and then lower your knees, lower your hips, and bring it down. One more time, take a deep inhale. With the exhale, your belly comes to your spine, your knees lift from the floor, back to the plank. Feel the strength of the pose. Pull your shoulder blades down your back towards your hips. Pull your shoulder blades together, and then lower your knees, lower your hips. What we're going to do now is take your hands and reach for your opposite elbows. So your hands wrap around the outside of those opposite elbows. That makes sure that your arms are in proper position. Then release your hand, interlace your fingers so you're making a V position with your arms. Your fingers are interlaced, your elbows are underneath your shoulders. So you have a couple of options here. You're either going to do a plank from this position, or we're going to do dolphin. So if you all weren't turned in the wrong direction, you could see me doing dolphin. But I'll yeah, that's true. So what you're going to do for dolphin is lift your knees and then push your hips up towards the sky. If that feels like it's too much for you, just hold a plank in whatever way you're doing it. As you exhale, you bring your hips back down to plank. We're going to do 5 of these. So exhale, push your hips up. Inhale, bring yourself back to plank. You can just stay in plank. You don't need to do the dolphin. Exhale, your hips are lifting. Inhaling, you're coming forward. That's 3. Push up. And that's 4. Push up. And that's 4.5. Push up. And that's 4 3/4. One more. Come on, you got it. Push it up. Take it forward to plank and then release, bringing yourself all the way to the floor, making a pillow with your hands, turning your head in one direction or another. Breathe into your belly as you exhale. Release any tension in your body. Let your shoulders relax here. Let your jaw relax and breathe. No struggles, no strains. We're going to bring your hands to your sides as if you were getting ready to do a push-up. Your elbows pointing straight up, your thumbs pointed in towards your chest. We're going to push up onto bent knees and then back into child's pose. So if child's pose is too much for you, you can put a block between your calves and your thighs, or you can lie down on your back to do this pose. Let your forehead drop to the floor. Breathe. Then we're going to turn your hands so that your palms are facing up. Keep your shoulder blades pulled down and away from your ears and gently push the backs of your hands into the floor. It's just a gentle strengthening for your serratus anterior, that stabilizing muscle for your shoulder. By pulling your shoulder blades down, you're doing what's called scapular depression. That's what gives your arms strength. If you ever swing a tennis racket or you play volleyball, you swim, the strength from that stroke comes from a depressed shoulder blade locked down to give a strong base of support for the arm to move around. And breathe, push gently down into that floor, and then relax. Turning your palms back down, dropping back into your child's pose. Let your arms slide back to your feet. Let your forehead rest on a block or on the floor. And breathe. No struggles, no strains. Bringing your arms forward again, coming up off of your knee, your hips off of your ankles. We're going to curl your toes under. We're going to take it to down dog. So you can be down on your elbows in down dog. That's perfectly fine. The legs are straight. The arms are straight. Your head is doing what? Come on, somebody knows the answer. Dangling. So push the back of your knees to the wall behind you. Try to lift your hips towards the sky. Let your neck relax. Let your head dangle. Stay here or take it forward into plank with straight arms. So if you turn the creases of your elbows forward, you'll be locking your shoulders into what we call the screw home mechanism. It is a stabilization of the shoulder. Take it back to down dog. Squeeze those quads. Try to push the back of your knees to the floor behind you. Stay there or take it forward into plank. Remember, if at any time this is too much for you, just go back to child's pose and breathe. Take it back to down dog. So we got 2 more planks. They're optional. Take it forward. Stay here in this forward plank or take your right guy for side plank. And breathe. You can stay there or you can lift your right foot from the floor. Find the expression of the pose that's right for you. Take it forward to forward plank and back to down dog. Take it forward to plank. Once again, remember you can drop to your knees if you'd like. You can stay there in plank or lift your left arm to the sky. Stay there or lift your left foot from the floor. Bring it back to forward plank. Bring it back to down dog. Look forward to your hands. Jump or step your feet to meet your hands. Bringing it up into a forward fold. And then slowly bringing yourself up to a standing position. You can turn around and face the front backwards, people. Well, I've cut my head off of the video. We can't have that. That's the money shot. That's what everybody's paying for right there. So just let your neck relax a little bit. Do a couple little circles, one direction, then some circles in the opposite direction. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears, and then take them back in the opposite direction. So we're going to add a little bit of an additional stretch. So everybody thinks that our body parts is just individual. They all are connected. So shoulders are intimately connected to your latissimus dorsi. The latissimus dorsi goes from the bottom of your shoulder blade to the top of your hip. It is also stabilized by your SI joint. So this big, broad muscle makes the shoulder drop down, which gives it strength to move through and do work, but it also supports your hips. So we're going to do a couple of things that put those both together. We're going to take your arms, and you either are going to stack them one on top of the other, or we're going to bring it into reverse namaste. The palms come together and then sliding them up your back.
Lola said, I don't think mine can do that. So wherever you are, just take a deep breath for a moment. And as you exhale, just take an assessment. Do your shoulders feel like they're at ease? She's fine. Lola, don't lick the floor. So take a deep inhale here. As you exhale, lift your left knee from the floor and breathe. And then take that leg and step it back. We're going to have both legs straight, though. This isn't like the normal progression where we go into warrior one. Both of your legs are going to be straight. And then I want you to try and take your right hip and turn it to the back of the room, your left hip forward. So that most people are going to be tended to be aimed over on the left. Try to bring it so that your left hip is forward, your right hip is back, both legs are straight. And then take a deep inhale to your belly. As you exhale, begin to fold forward, but stop as soon as you feel a stretch behind your right hamstring. So as soon as you feel a pull there, stop. As your next inhale, you lengthen your spine, you create space, and then try to take it a little further, but keep pulling that right hip back, that left hip forward. So what we're doing is stretching through the hamstrings, through the latissimus dorsi, and into the shoulders. Breathe. Keep pulling that left hip forward, that right hip back. They're little micro adjustments. Each exhale, see if you can bring yourself just a little bit forward, reaching the top of your head towards the wall in front of you. No struggles and no strains. And breathe. Squeeze those legs nice and straight as you try to take it just a little bit deeper. And then a small bend in your right knee and bring yourself back up. Walking your left foot forward to meet your right, either taking your arms, if they were stacked, and reverse the stack, bringing the opposite one on top, or maintain your reverse namaste. Whatever works for you, bringing yourself back, taking the right knee up as you inhale. As you exhale, shooting that right leg back, straightening out both legs. Now adjust your hips. Try to pull that left hip to the back and the right hip forward as if you're turning to your left. Squeeze those legs nice and straight, lengthening your spine. As you exhale, bend forward from your hips just till you feel the pull in that left hamstring. Lengthening with an inhale, exhale, folding further forward, but don't let that left hip come forward. Pull it back. The right hip comes forward. So that hamstring attaches to the bottom of your pelvis. Your latissimus dorsi attaches to the top. So that's how you're creating an anchor and a gentle stretch. You're inhaling, lengthening your spine. You're exhaling, seeing if you can roll just a little bit further forward without struggle, without strain. And breathe. Squeeze those legs straight. Try to get that right hip forward, that left hip back. Feel that stretch. One more deep inhale here. One more slow exhale. And then a small bend in your left knee and bring yourself back up. Step your right foot to meet your left foot and just shake your arms out. Boop, boop, boop. So we're going to do a little balance posing, the tree pose. It's not really about arms except using them as a counterbalance. What it is about is core stabilization. Your core is the center of movement for everything. Your arms and your legs move around this. If this is weak, then these have to find stabilization, and that's how shoulders end up getting replaced and hips get replaced, because they were doing more work than they're supposed to. So hands start at the center of your chest. The legs, the toes of your right foot spread out wide to create a big base of support. And then inhale that left knee up. So what you're doing now is creating a cross strengthening between the right leg and the left side. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, take that left leg out to the side and plant your tree. So the tree is either planted with your foot on the inside of your calf or the inside of your thigh, or just leave it down with the big toe on the floor, your heel pressed against your ankle. If you'd like, you can stand next to something to give you support, but try to get that left knee back. So you don't want it up here in front. You're trying to push it to the back of the room. Find one spot to stare at, and then press into your palms as you raise them up overhead, and then separate your arms and breathe. Keep your eyes focused on one spot for balance. Drop your left arm and reach up with your right. And then bring the left arm up and drop the right. Dynamic balance. Pull your belly to your spine to help create space. Take both arms up, bring the palms together, and then hands to heart center. We'll take that left leg out to the front, straighten it, pull the toes back, drop that left hip. The tendency is to pull up the hip, drop it, and then bring it down. We'll do the same on the opposite side. So start by spreading the toes apart on your left foot. Create a big base of support. Also, stepping onto the floor instead of your mat can be helpful because it's less of an unstable surface. As you exhale, pull your right knee up. Make sure that right hip isn't coming up, just the knee. Take it out to the side and plant the tree. So the other thing I forgot to tell you on the other side, when you have your tree planted foot on the thigh or the calf, make sure that the standing leg is pushing into that foot. You don't want to have this foot pushing that knee out to the side, stressing your lateral, collateral ligaments, God forbid. Try to get that right knee back so it's a nice straight line in the front of your body. Press into your palms as your arms rise up. Shoulder blades pull down. Left arm drops, right arm reaches for the sky. Pull the belly to your spine. And then take it to the opposite. Right arm drops, left arm reaches up. Ah. Bring both palms together, press them together and down to the center of your chest. Take that right leg out and in front, straightening it out, pulling the toes back. This is a really good way to work on balance and core strength. You can just do this. Forget the rest of the pose, just do this part. And then bring it down. Spreading your feet out wide. We're going to go to the floor through crow and through squat. So if that's too much for your knees, just go ahead and lie down to the floor. It's perfectly fine. As you exhale, bend your knees. Bring your elbows in between your knees. And then try to keep your spine up straight. Drop your butt towards the floor. Try to keep your spine nice and straight. Push into the hands to help separate those knees. Breathe. So if you're going to do the crow, you have options to help you. First, take your hands out, spread your fingers wide, have your block out in front of you so that when you come into the crow, you can rest your forehead on that block. That gives you 3 points of weight bearing. Bring yourself forward, small bend in your elbows. Your knees rest on that small bend, and then you can lift your feet from the floor. One at a time, together, or just lift one, put it down, and then put the other down. And then if you want, try to lift your head from that block. You're flying. And then release your crow. Slowly. Shake out your shoulders. Bring yourself to the floor in a long, straight sitting position. Come on, people, float. And lower it down. So a good way to practice that, to get to the float, is to have your legs out straight, put a block next to you, and then push down. Just try to lift your hips from the ground. That's a really good way to get strength in your shoulders. You're doing the exact same thing as that float. You're just isolating it without the long lever of your legs. So just push down into the floor, lift your hips, and lower back down. One of the best strengthening moves for your shoulder is scapular depression, and that's what you're doing here. One more time, push down on the floor, lift your hips, feel that strength. Then lower your hips, release your hands, slowly float to the floor. And breathe here for a moment. Let your shoulders relax. We did a lot of work on those shoulders. So see if you can just let them relax into the floor. Turn the palms of your hands up. As you exhale, slide your arms down the floor as if you were trying to touch the bottoms of your mat. Just do a gentle decompressive stretch. With your arms reaching for the bottom of the mat, gently turn your head from right to left. Feel that stretch. When you have those arms sliding down the floor, you're creating an anchor. And then you can stretch the gentle muscle, the small muscles that go between your neck and the shoulder. Those are often a problem, and part of the pain that people feel into their shoulders, the tight muscles called your scalenes, they pull on the nerves as they leave your neck and can cause some of the discomfort, especially if you feel like an ache through the shoulder down into the tricep or the bicep, just rocking your head from side to side. And then slowly release your head back to what you find to be a comfortable position. And we'll relaxation. If you'd like a ball underneath of your knees to support your back, just bend your knees and I will grab you a ball. If you'd like a Lola to put underneath of your knees, you can pull out a snack and she will probably come to you, Denise. So if you'd like something underneath your legs, just bend your knees and I will bring it to you. You're good, Lee? Okay. So just close your eyes for a moment. Take one deep breath into the very bottom of your lungs. As you exhale, see if you can release any tension you might feel in your shoulders. With your next breath, release any tension you might feel in the middle of your back. With your next exhale, see if you can release any tension you might feel in your hips. In your next exhale, see if you can release any tension you might feel in your legs. And then I'm going to ask you to bring all of your attention just to the weight of your head as it rests on the floor. If your mind wanders or become distracted, just gently bring it back just to the sensation of the weight of your head as it touches the floor. And lightly tuck your chin and gently push the back of your head into the floor. Feel the tension you're creating, the tightness that you're creating when you use those muscles. And then let it go. And then bring your attention to the weight of your shoulders as they lie on the floor. If your mind wanders or becomes distracted, just gently bring your attention back to the sensation of your shoulders as they rest on the floor. And then gently tuck your chin towards your chest. Lightly push the back of your head into the floor and draw your shoulder blades together. Feel the tension that you're creating there. Squeeze it just a little bit harder and then let it go. And see if you can appreciate the difference between the tightness that you create and the relaxation that you choose. Bring your attention to the weight of your hands as they lie on the floor. See if you can bring all of your focus just to the sensation, the weight of the back of your hands as they lie on the floor. If your mind wanders or you become distracted, just gently, without a story, without the frustration, bring your attention back to the weight of your hands on the floor. Then gently tuck your chin towards your chest, lightly push your head into the floor. Pull your shoulder blades together, spread your fingers out wide. Feel the skin between your fingers stretching. Feel the shoulder blades gently pulled together and the head lightly pushed into the floor. You're creating tension. And now choose relaxation. Release it all. And shift your attention to your low back where it touches the floor. Make that your anchor and to focus and attention. If your mind drifts or becomes distracted, just use that anchor to draw yourself back to the focus of the weight of your body where your back touches the floor. Gently tuck your chin towards your chest and lightly push the back of your head to the floor. Draw your shoulder blades together, spread your fingers out wide, pull your belly to your spine, push your back into the floor, and squeeze your gluteal muscles. Feel that tension in the entire upper part of your body. Squeeze it all just a little tighter and really get an appreciation for the difference between this feeling and when you release and relax. Many of us have difficulty relaxing. It's not that we don't know how to relax. It's just in most cases that we don't know that we aren't relaxed. We don't recognize the difference between tension and relaxation. Bring all of your focus to the weight of your feet as they rest on the floor or they rest on a ball. If your mind wanders, just gently bring it back to the sensations you feel at your feet, either the weight on the floor or the air on the skin. If your mind wanders, just gently bring it back to the sensations you feel at your feet. Gently tuck your chin towards your chest and lightly push your back of your head into the floor. Draw your shoulder blades together, spread your fingers wide. Pull the belly to the spine, push the back into the floor. Squeeze your gluteals and curl your toes under and squeeze your entire body tight. Feel the tension from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. Squeeze it all just a little tighter. And then let it all go and just appreciate the difference between tension and relaxation, between tightness and ease. And then just let your mind come to stillness. Any thought or distraction that wanders in, let it be noticed but not attached to. Try not to let it become a story. Breathe. We'll slowly bring your awareness back to this moment. Just wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Bring all of your awareness just to the sensation of those small joints as they move. And spread your fingers out wide, spread your toes out wide, and feel the space between your fingers, space between your toes. Curl your fingers to a fist, curl your toes under, and feel the skin as it stretches over your knuckles, as it stretches over the tops of your feet. And then let your hands and your feet relax. You can gently begin to let your head rock from side to side. Just bringing awareness to the muscles around your neck. And then let your head come to rest wherever it finds itself comfortable. As you take a deep inhale through your nose to the very bottom of your lungs, let your arms rise up towards the ceiling. As you empty your lungs, let your arms fall to the floor behind you. As you inhale, reach back with your fingertips, reach forward with the heels of your feet. Feeling that stretch along the length of your body. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, pull your knees to your chest. Let your arms float down to wrap around your knees. Your shoulders relax, your jaw relaxed. Just gently begin to rock from side to side on the floor. Bringing awareness to the sensation around your spine as your spine is massaged by the floor. When you're ready, come to lie on your right-hand side in a fetal position. I almost said fecal position. That would not been appropriate. You can make a little pillow with your hands to support your neck, or use a pillow or a block. And then just bring your awareness back to your breath. Take one deep inhale through your nose. Really feel. And then as you exhale, feel the sensation of the breath as it exits. And then when you're ready, push yourself up to an easy seated position. I don't know what that noise was. Easy seated position is anyone where your spine is straight and at ease. Let the backs of your hands come to rest on the tops of your knees. Take a deep inhale, lengthen your spine, reach the top of your head up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, see if you can hold that tall and lengthened posture with ease. Take another deep inhale, lengthen your spine. With an exhale, let your hands float up into a prayer position. The thumbs gently pressed into your chest, and then let your chin drop just a bit. You guys have done a wonderful job once again. Namaste, and have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I think it's this Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Indeed. Do you guys think you want to do class next Saturday? Is anybody going to be in town?
I'm out of town.
Oh, well, then we're not doing class. Forget about it.
I won't be.
Okay. Why don't we just cancel next Saturday, and we can all just take a nice long weekend. So I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and know how much I appreciate and am thankful for you all as well.
Thank you, Bill. I'm very thankful for this class and the group that's here.
I'm glad.
Ditto.
Ditto.
Bill,
Yes.
if you cancel next week, then the following week, we're not gonna be here.
I'm getting 2 weeks off.
We're going to Puerto Rico. No, we'll do next Saturday. We'll see who shows up. If it's only a couple of us. Yeah, because the following Saturday I will not be here. That is my trip to Puerto Rico.
Well,
Yeah.
this class.
I canceled and then I brought it back. So yes, next week. No, the following week. You got that, studio audience? Yes, next week. No, the following.
There's a concert, just in case.
Oh, I know what we're moving. I can't.
I know. Moving on
I
Monday.
did hand it out to a couple of people that like to listen to his music in the back.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So we're having a class next week.
Yes, we are next Saturday having a class.
But I will still not be here.
Oh, you won't be here.
No, so you'll need to.